In the Middle East, Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank are marking the beginning of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The holiday comes just as the first phase of the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas expires, with no clear plan for what is to follow. Hamas says no talks are taking place to initiate a second phase after rejecting Israel's push to extend the first. CBC's Sasha Petrusik has more from Jerusalem.
Israel's negotiating team returned from Cairo after a few days of talks. And while the negotiations have not ended, they're not exactly making much progress either. The reason is that the two sides really have different goals. As far as Israel's concerned, this first phase of the ceasefire has worked. It's been shaky, but 33 hostages have been released in exchange for about 2,000 Palestinian detainees and prisoners in Israeli jails. What Israel wants to do is to continue that with 2 or 3 or 4 hostages released every week until all of them are out. There are about 59 left in Gaza. Hamas, though, doesn't want that kind of progress. What it wants is to move right to phase 2, which was the original plan, the original agreement when the two sides signed this ceasefire agreement about 6 weeks ago. The idea here is that the war would formally end, Israel would pull all of its troops out of Gaza, and all the hostages would be released. Hamas is pushing for that, and there's a lot of pressure here in Israel to move to that second phase as well. Today, Hamas released a propaganda video which showed 2 of the hostages, 2 brothers, basically pleading with the government here to move on to the second phase. Part of the issue is that the 2 brothers, the Horn brothers, one of them, Yair, was released 2 weeks ago. The other one, who's A10, he was not released. He is still in Gaza. And this video was shot before they were separated, before one of them went home and the other one stayed behind. There were a lot of tears, and they were basically saying, "What are you waiting for?" to the government. That's exactly the message that many people here in Israel have been saying, with protests every week, including one tonight planned for the streets of Tel Aviv. Now, all of this happens just as Ramadan hits Israel, hits the region, with many Muslims celebrating. Now, this has been a happier Ramadan for people in Gaza, where last year when they had this celebration, they were under fire. The war was still raging, and today they have peace, at least temporarily. This is what they had to say to us today.
طبعا وكان رمضان اللي فات كنا لما نصحى على السحور كنا نخاف بالقصف ومن الحرب ورمضان هلا إن شاء الله نكون مبسوطين.
It's a very different atmosphere in the occupied West Bank, where the Palestinians who are there are going through one of the most violent Ramadans that they've seen in quite some time. There's been a lot of Israeli military action in the territories, especially in the north, as they have gone into various refugee camps up there, saying that they are going after Hamas and other militants, using tanks, using armored personnel carriers, using armored bulldozers to tear up infrastructure and tear down houses. Some 40,000 Palestinians have been displaced and several hundred have been killed, fighters as well as civilians. So the situation in the West Bank is much worse than it's been in the past, for decades really, and this Ramadan is not going to be a particularly joyful one. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Jerusalem.